Hey you guys, it's me, Kiana. Alright, so we got the cake out the oven. Let me show you that really quickly. Then we're going to move on to our stuffed mozzarella meatballs. Alright, and then we're going to go ahead and do our little platter with our mini cheeses and our olives and things like that. But this is the cake, you guys. Devil's food, and then we're going to use this for our s'mores dressing. I'm sorry, dessert icing. It smells delicious, you guys. Don't smell good enough for me to get off my diet, but it smells delicious, trust me. Alright, so what I did was I took a package of ground beef. Just simply added some garlic in there, roasted garlic. I added some Italian seasoning, a little bit of salt and some pepper. We're going to add just a tad bit of your chili powder. And then we're going to add just a tad bit of the Worcestershire sauce by Lee and Perrin. All of it, you guys, literally I got with couponing almost free. The ground beef I buy in bulk, so great prices. Anyway, alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to use two types of cheese to stuff, surprise stuff, inside of our meatballs. One, well, both of them I got for free, and I got a whole bunch of them I frozen about 3 months ago, so I'm using some now. You get 3 string cheeses for Kraft. We're going to use the string cheese, and this is perfect, you guys. I mean perfect if you want to fix the stuffed meatballs. And also we have a little spicy pepper jack cheese. So what we're going to do is we're going to open these up so that they're handy and ready for us. I'm just simply cutting the tops off just to try to make it easier for me. To open up. Alright. Just going to squeeze these out like so. Alright. And we're going to make them bite-sized because what you want to do is you want to use this as a little hors d'oeuvre. And you want to use this with toothpicks. Alright, so we're just going to slide this out. Go ahead and discard. Alright. With the humidity today, you guys, if you haven't watched my other videos, because I've done several on cooking. I just did the buffalo wings. I did the potatoes on camera for the potato salad. I did deviled eggs. I'm going to have to do the rest of those. I'm going to make the homemade dip. I'm doing this all on camera so you guys can see. We have probably about an hour, you guys. I still have to clean the center pieces. Still have to whip together the potato salad as well as the deviled eggs that are cooling right now. We have our wings in the oven right now. I have to ice that cake. Set up the patio outside. Put the flour centerpieces and all of the dishes around. Yeah, so we still got work to do. Now I'm just simply cutting this pepper jack cheese. It's going to give it a kind of spicy flair to it. I'm just cutting it in chunks like this. And as far as the string cheese, you want to put them all together so it saves time. Put them all together and then just slice. Now again, you want to cut them aside so that, you know, you don't have to make it too big because you have to keep in mind that it's going to melt inside of it, which is going to make it a span. Alright, so what you want to do is you want to mix all of your meatballs stuff together. You're going to also add, in this amount you want to add probably about, I'd say just add 1 egg. Okay? So we're going to mix it all together. And we're going to add, as I said before, 1 egg. Alright? Alright. So. Alrighty. We're adding the egg, mixing the meat, incorporating that egg into the meat. You're going to have to get downright dirty with this. Make sure your hands is clean. Alright. Once this is thoroughly mixed together, alright, we're going to just take a meatball. What you can do is you can wet your hand. I keep water next to me. You're going to wet your hand. That just makes it easier for the meatball to be formed, and that way you don't have to worry about it sticking too much, because as you can see, it's not sticking to my hand. Alright, so you're going to have the meatball. You're going to press in the center. Then you're going to put that little hunk of cheese down in there, like so. Then you're going to form that meatball around that cheese. You want to have a cookie sheet sprayed with some Pam. You want to roll this because, again, it's going to form a ball. Alright, make sure that that cheese, that's why I said cut it at a certain size, that way the cheese is not, you get a perfect meatball like so. Alright, you want to cut it so that the cheese does not ooze out. Again, this is about the element of surprise. So, we have our pan that we sprayed with Pam. I'm going to FedEx out there. Chuck, if FedEx comes to the door, honey, can you answer for me? Spraying it with Pam. Alright. We have one meatball down. You're just going to continue until all your meatballs are done, keeping them at a size that not only spreads it out so that everybody can have plenty, put in that little hole. Let's make us a spicy cheese one. Put your cheese in the middle, wrap around. Our potatoes are in the background cooking, you guys. Our eggs have been cooled down to touch. Our cake is cooling. It should be done in a few. As far as cooling, we can ice in that. Like so. Again, taking another meatball. We'll make our homemade dip after this. Mozzarella, forming it around. You're just going to keep on going. You can also use a little bit of onion soup mix, you guys, in this seasoning. That does just kick it up a notch. Gives a wonderful flavor. And with that, you don't have to use any additional salt. I wouldn't do, because that onion soup mix, when it's not diluted, perfect meatball, you guys. When it's not diluted, you guys, it tends to, it can tend to be a little salty. So if you use that, you really don't have to use any salt, because the other seasonings are going to have a little bit of salt in it anyway, so keep that in mind. Mozzarella again. So what I'm going to probably do is every other meatball, so that it's a surprise to everybody else, but I know, because I'm the one that cooked it, every other meatball I'm going to do the pepper jack cheese, mozzarella. Pepper jack cheese, mozzarella. That way, if I know automatically somebody does not do spicy at all, then I know where to direct them to. Perfect meatball. And we're just going to keep on doing this until it's done. Out of this amount of ground beef, I would say it's probably about 2 pounds. I buy it in bulk and put it in a freezer bag, so I'm estimating right now. But I would say, this is the regular cheese, the pepper jack cheese. I would say we're probably going to make, because so far we've made, with this one right now, we've made 5 big meatballs. Now you can make them smaller than this, but again, you don't want the cheese to be too large, because then at that point it's going to ooze out, and then everybody's going to know what it is. So These are how the meatballs look thus far. And this is probably, with this amount of ground beef, is probably going, which is 2 pounds, it's probably going to make probably about, I would say, probably about 50, probably about 14 or 15 meatballs, which is great because, again, this is mozzarella, which is great because with all the other things, it's not like somebody's going to sit down and eat 5 or 6 of these big meatballs. Probably wind up eating 1, maybe max 2 each person, because again, with the, that's why I like variety, because when you're fixing variety, you can fix not a huge portion or a huge amount, but yet everybody still gets to taste some and they have a full plate by the time they go around and fix everything. Perfect meatball again. As you can see, nothing's sticking to my hand because I made sure I had the water. I dipped my hands in the water before I started doing these meatballs. Pressing in the center so that you can have space for your cheese. Press your cheese down in there. Form your meatball around it by folding it and then rolling. Nene has to come home with ice because we have to make her signature strawberry margaritas in the blender. It's hot as heck up in here, even though the central air is on, but meatball. That's because I'm boiling, which is allowing steam to rise, and then also the oven is on with the wings in there, the barbecue dejointed wings. These are going to be popped in the oven. The oven is already nice and hot and boiling. Our potatoes should be done. I'm going to have to hurry up and make these, finish making these so I can take those potatoes out. You're going to hurry up and throw them underneath some cold water because you want to go ahead and stop the process of them cooking. Go ahead and get your seasonings out. The seasonings I'm going to use, I will show you in the next video. You want to go ahead while you're up, grab some celery out of the refrigerator. Perfect meatball again. A little bit of onion if that's your thing. I don't know if Daddy's going to eat this, so I'm not going to fix any. Y'all know when I was eating potato salad, I would fix it with onion and stuff because y'all know I'm an onion lover. So far we're at 10 meatballs with this one. We have enough to make probably about 4 more, you guys. So as I've estimated correctly, it's going to be about 14, 15 meatballs. But these are large ones. You can make them smaller, again, by using the toothpicks, and you can make them smaller, more appetizer size, and also stretching it because it actually will make probably about 20 to 22 meatballs for 2 pounds, per 2 pounds. All right. All together, all we've used is one little teeny small thing of cheese. That's not the big one. Pepper jack cheese is by Kraft, but it was a small one. And we're probably going to use all together 2 string cheeses. So on a budget, adding extra layers of flavor, extra impact. And this is also an Atkins friendly recipe because you don't have to use any sauce, or you can just wait until after it's all said and done and just dip it in some sugar-free ketchup, of which I will probably be doing. Or since I'm making that homemade onion dip, you can maybe dip it in some of the onion dip. Perfect meatball. Right now we have probably about 2 left.